you do wrong, like you should. And time and time again, we've seen these hit and runs killing children. And people, there was a guy just recently that took his car back to the dealership he got it from with the dent still in it. And his neighbor turned him in after he killed a 4-year-old child. You know, these are the things that makes the news, but people don't understand where it comes from.
Yeah, that's the problem. They watch the news. They list, first of all, the news media ain't like it used to be. They lie and they lie. They create a one, like CNN is with the Democrats, and Newsmax is with anybody, Republican or Democrat. They try to give you the news, and that's the difference. CNN, they cover up Biden all the time. Everybody covers up Biden. Do you know how many, this is what really gets me. They go, it's a father, he feels sad, his son's a drug addict, he shouldn't have done days trying. But what about these kids that are doing 10, 20 years and their parents had to go through the same thing? There's no...
Right, there's no empathy for them.
There's nothing for them.
You know, I've been promised a pardon by about every administration since 1992 when I was court-martialed for a piece, a 0.75 of a gram, a little piece of THC in a legal country. While in Germany, I was court-martialed, and I wound up getting a 6-month prison sentence in a military prison camp. And I was the very first federal case that ever argued medical use. And that was August 2nd, 1992, about 31 years ago now. And the disabilities that I endured from serving in 3 combat operations, I don't get a VA compensation for. I get a disability SSDI check because of being denied by the VA. And it was a bad conduct discharge when my DD 214 states forfeiture of all pay and allowances except for medical benefits. 31 years later, I'm still denied my medical benefits. That is included in writing on my DD 214. But yet somehow, $500,000 later, I'm still waiting for my check and waiting for my case to be approved from a bad conduct under honorable conditions that I was promised it was going to happen after a 5-year period. It never happened automatically. I've been filing appeals and told during the Obama administration I received a letter. I exhausted all my appellate rights. I would have to go back to Nuremberg, Germany, where I was court-martialed in Nuremberg trial, you know, reminded me of the Nazis, looking out the window, seeing the furnaces in the field. You know, it just makes you wonder who the real Nazis are. Yeah. You know, but, you know, they wanted to make an example out of me, fine. But that doesn't mean you, after 3 combat operations and 3 combat units, that you deny veterans their rights based on a damn little piece of weed and have every administration promise pardons and never follow through. I heard Biden earlier this year, I'm pardoning every federal charge for marijuana, you know, when, no, he didn't. I'm still waiting. You know, it's just ridiculous. But every time there's a campaign by a president, they're always preaching to the ones that are marijuana enthusiasts. They always say, we're going to do something about it. Yeah. We're going to legalize. We're going to cause leniency. We're going to lower it from a class 1 to a class 3. They ain't done shit.
Well, it's legal now. You can buy marijuana.
You know, right. Because of laws that I wrote. Not because of laws politicians. When I went to the State House April 2001, I heard the Stop Arresting Cancer Patient argument. It was Matt Smith, the leading attorney. I ran back in 2 years later that we started the medical marijuana initiative for expanding more than just cancer patients. But in 2001, legislatures were saying, we will never do that. But they passed their gay laws because they had gay brothers that you, shocked and awe, came out from behind the podium and sat in front of their brothers going, I'm coming out of the closet today, and you know me, I have an office right next to you. But what they weren't realizing was the language being used of marriage that turned around and created 9/11 5 months later, the Boston bombing with the two brothers, many gay club shootings, and it's because legislatures like to use language that are offensive to other people. Just like labeling and profiling. They didn't like the police doing it. We have all these reports, we have all these polls, we have all these surveys, and we know police profiling was dangerous to the communities that they were profiling. And they were told that they could not do that anymore. So then the government picked up right where they left off at. Because the police weren't allowed to do it, the government decided they would do it. And they're the ones that are supposed to be enforcing laws, not doing their own thing and saying, hey, we're the government, we can do whatever we want. The NAACP got involved years ago, decided that they wanted affirmative action and wanted to sit there and have these racist questions on applications to get jobs, applications to get housing, applications to get food stamps. When in America, we the people. The people. That's who we are, not any racist category. The only time you need to know what the numbers are is if you have a damn agenda. If you don't have no agenda, nobody cares what race you are. I've been married twice. One of them to a black woman. It's not because I'm racist in any way. I don't say anything against the NAACP to offend them, but I do believe in having overreach just because they're of a certain caucus. That's just like everybody, their own Asian caucus now, Latino caucus now, black caucus now. You know, the going joke is what is bigger, the black caucus or the white caucus?
Okay, I wanted the biker caucus coming in.
Right, exactly.
Bikers next.
You know, right.
All
That's the whole
bikers
thing.
next.
Everybody wants their own groups, but here's the problem.
Right.
There's funding behind all these groups. They get grant money, federal taxpayers' dollars.
Yes,
That's where the concern comes in, is when you start, just like with the
Listen,
LGBTQ.
they're already printing money that don't even
Right.
exist.
Well, an LGBTQ caucus means that they're using your taxpaying dollars to push their agenda, and I
On
don't
little
believe
children,
my
and
money should be going, when I'm a family man and I was married twice, raised 6 kids, you know, I don't have money to be giving the damn government so they could push their LGBTQ or racist agenda. My money should not be being used for that. I have other things for it.
We should not be using money, government, taxpayers' money for anything for not just gays and LGBT. That's all sex or something. What's that got to do with the Constitution? They were all right. I have gay friends that don't even pay any attention to that. They don't want to be known. That's all right. That's the way it goes. But I cannot understand how we can, as taxpayers, I'll give you one example that's really good. We'll use the abortion because I'm tired of the gay crap. I'm telling you right now, my granddaughter wouldn't be here right now. My son and his girlfriend wanted to abort her. And I said, no way. No one's going to abort nobody. I says, have the child and I'll take care of it. Today she lives in Tampa. She's got a nice Harley Davidson. She's got 7 kids. She's happy as she does her own business. I'm really proud of her. What was wrong with that? I mean, I shouldn't have really been around the bike. I think she should have been more. Well, I got one more that at least one more was supposed to be taken out, but she was still here, and it was really great because now she's a nurse, she's a realtor. What is with people aborting these children? That's against God's law. You know, but listen, if you can't keep your damn legs together, that's your fault. You don't go and take a child out because you want to be.
Well, here's the thing. As adults, we understand there has to be communication between the male and the female.
Well,
Without that community, there's several alternatives to actually, ejaculating inside. There's other things that you could do with communication, that conception, whatever you want to call it. There's things that you can do that you could prevent that. That's the only way you wind up pregnant, is if you have that. Without that, you don't have a pregnancy.
What I'm trying to say is, what's it got to do with the Constitution and the ability that we're free? In our Constitution, we're free anyways. Why is it everybody's trying to make it a communist type system, thinking we need a communist type system, socialism? That's even worse. When we come in, your freedom's right now. Our freedom's being taken away night and day, and people are still sitting home watching TV, playing with their pot and their